What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Box Office Banter. This is something we actually did in the middle of the year, and I somehow forgot about the video. And then when I went to post it, I was like, man, this list has probably changed a lot since that happened. And I feel like I know that because I kind of seen Josh's list too. And also, the video was gone. I couldn't find it, so we're going to just go ahead and do this a little later than we should have. But, you know, this will probably shake out a little differently by the time the end of the year happens.
Oh, absolutely.
And I decided to put a little spin on it, too. Instead of just, like, our top 5 best of the year so far, let's do our top 5 worst. So we'll kick it off with top 5 worst.
I was going to say, how many movies have you seen?
I've seen 46 movies this year. Josh, surprisingly,
I've
has
seen
seen
52.
more than me. And that wasn't, we were actually like right in the same ballpark. So he's been killing it with movies this past week, apparently. So we're going to say my worst for last here since we're going that way. I'll just do my 5 worst and he'll do his 5 worst, I guess. And then we'll do the best and best. All right, my number 42 of the year. This is my bottom worst. Obviously, this is at 42. My number 42 of the year is Morbius. Morbius is definitely what it said. It's more BS. I still honestly don't know if I think it's as bad as some people say, but honestly, the more I've thought about it, it just doesn't really have many redeemable qualities at all.
Did not draw me in.
Yeah, like it just like I'll say for like the first 20 minutes, I was somewhat invested, and then it just kept tapering off more and more. And we see Matt Smith now; he's killing it on House of the Dragon.
Everyone's favorite fucking character.
Yeah, dude, and that's something I don't know why we haven't been doing. I keep forgetting to fucking do these reviews.
House of the Dragon review.
Maybe we do it's already at like the 5th episode, ain't it?
So I think this will be the 6th.
Yeah.
Do you want to bounce this, or do you want to do 5 and 5?
Let's fucking bounce it.
Yeah,
Let's
I feel
do
like
it.
we can bounce this one. Just talking shit on me.
But yeah, Morbius, Jared Leto is just average. I think Jared Leto is a great actor, but he doesn't do anything special here. He doesn't really have that great a source material to even uplift him. But like sometimes a great actor, and yes, I will say that Jared Leto is a great actor. Has been in some bad movies. He can uplift a movie like this to some degree. And Matt Smith, I'm finding out, is a great actor. I've never really been a big fan of him, but for some reason I was intrigued with House of the Dragon. We see what he's doing there. He did not really do anything here, and it's just. It feels like a whole lot of movies I've seen before meshed together into one movie, and it does all those things worse. Like, it's never, like, absolutely terrible, but it's always absolutely bland, and sometimes that's even worse. Morbius is at 42.
So I've seen 52 movies, like we said, so 5th to last for me would be 48. And before I get into my list, out of the 52 movies I've seen, my bottom 3 are the only movies I dislike. That are like under a 5. So 48th place for me at a 5.3. I don't know if you have your scores for yours, if you want to say those.
I don't, but Morbius is like a 4.
So coming in
they're all bad for me.
48 at a 5.3 is Uncharted. Did you ever get to see that? Because I know you didn't go with us
I
to
thought about
the theater.
watching it now it's on Netflix, but something about it feels too far gone, and I was never that interested in to begin with. And after y'all's reviews, I just haven't been in a rush to see it.
So I did not play the video games. That might be part of the reason I was disconnected from it.
Me neither.
But it just, I don't know. The one thing I remember the most was the chemistry between Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland was not there.
At all.
Like
I can see that.
And that really, I think, set a bad tone for the movie. There's some good action scenes where the pirate ship boats are like flying or whatever. Like, I thought that was really cool, but not too much in this movie to like draw me back and want to watch it again. Again, I didn't hate it. It was just very, very blah to me is how I kind of explain a movie that's at 5 for me. Very blah. But yeah, Uncharted coming in at 48th for me on the year.
Nice. Coming in at number 43 for me, my 4th least favorite movie this year, The Ledge. This is a movie that doesn't have, a bad premise, and by premise, I mean, it's not very crazy. It's just, you're rock climbing, there's fear of heights, It had me at times, but the villains in this movie were so fucking garbage. It drove me insane. Like, there's this lead. It's basically you got this lead guy that's telling his crew of people to do all this fucked up shit. And the whole time you're watching this movie, you're like, punch this guy in the face. He is the biggest douche ever. He's not scary. He's not intimidating. He looks like the biggest pushover ever. And he's just like, are you sure you want to do that, Matt? Matt, whoever, I don't even remember if this is her name. I'm just using this. And Matt's over there like, no, sorry, man.
Had Matt Smith on the mind,
yeah,
didn't you?
yeah, I guess. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll do that. And he's not even doing it in manipulative ways. He's like overpowering them with words like, you need to fuck her up. We need to get her. You need to do that. And the whole time you're like, you are not intimidating, bro. And it's just infuriating. It could have at least been an average to barely good movie if it wasn't for that. But like the villains in this movie are absolute garbage, and it pains me when I watch
So you're telling me in a movie called Ledge, the main villain wasn't Gravity?
No. But and this is the premise real fast. Basically, they're rock climbing, these two girls, kind of like another movie this year, Fall, not rock climbing, but same kind of thing. But I mean, and they were rock climbing in the movie too. But one of them gets killed by this group of guys that's led by this, douchebag. And the other guys aren't necessarily douchebags. They're just easily influenced by this douchebag that should not even be able to influence them because he's annoying and not even scary. And her friend sees her friend die, and she has to start climbing up the ledge with like nothing on, and they're trying to get to her. And that guy's ordering him around like, get her, she's over here. And he's like fucking his friends over left and right. It's just the villains take the movie away from what it could have been, which could have been, like, oh, hey, have you seen The Ledge? Not terrible, but, watch it on Netflix if you're bored one night. To like, don't watch it at all. It's the villains ruin it. That's my number 43. Yeah.
So my fourth least favorite movie of the year, coming in at 49th place for me, movie called Purple Hearts. This is on Netflix. It's a romance
I remember
movie.
you talking about this.
It's a movie I think Rodney would actually enjoy.
He does like
says.
shit movies now.
But essentially the premise for this was the same fucking premise in any romance. Guy and girl don't like each other, and then they grow to fall in love. But it's a military guy, and the girl ends up marrying him to get his insurance to get medication because I forgot what was wrong with her, but she needed like insulin or something and didn't have the money to buy it. So she marries him to get his insurance, and they're having to like fake their marriage so that people buy into it, and then they end up hating each other, breaking up or whatever, then falling back in love at the end of the movie. My girlfriend really enjoyed it.
Of course.
But, I mean, it was odd to me. Another blah movie. I gave it a 5.2. And that's my fourth least favorite movie of the year, coming in 49th place.
My third least favorite of the year might surprise you because I think you actually enjoyed this movie, Death on the Nile.
Yes, I lied.
This movie was fucking like...
Where is it? 23rd for me.
For me, dude, this movie was just bad. Like, I just could not get into it. The CGI was hit or miss. I can take it or leave it with that. The fucking, which, a movie like that, you don't really need CGI, but when they did show it, like, the worlds felt very computer animatronic-y to me, and it took me out of the movie because I didn't feel like you needed to have that. And, the lead guy, I forget the actor, like they have a whole opening that was basically just to show how cool his mustache was. And it was just like, why? Like,
it was.
Like that can be like, so that either works or it doesn't. It's never like, oh, I mean, yeah, the mustache thing, I take it or leave it. It either leaves you just like, I don't know why that worked, but that was kind of cool for some reason. Or it's just like, why the fuck did you set me up with a 10-minute opening about this dude's mustache, basically? And then the other thing, this is another thing. It never works in the middle. You're either like, I fucking knew it, or you're like, dude, I saw it coming a mile away. I picked this movie apart from the very beginning. I knew exactly what was happening from the second it started. I won't reveal it because this is this year, even though it's earlier in the year. Just picked it apart. I didn't think Gal Gadot was good at all in this movie. I wasn't really on the train of her not being like able to act. I was like, I mean, she's good in Wonder Woman. She could be, but like the more I'm seeing her, the more I'm just not really into her. I mean, she's beautiful, but I'm not really into her as an actress. And the biggest problem with this movie is like people like Gal Gadot, like all these motherfuckers in this movie, like they have a good cast. And that's something I hold against it is, when you have a movie, say, with no names, like the previous movie, The Ledge, and it falls on its face, like it's like, okay, that sucks. But when you have a great cast like this and it just feels flat the entire time, I'm gonna deduct some points too. It makes it all the more infuriating. This movie just didn't work for me near as well as I felt it should have, and that bothered me the more and more as I left the theater. I do not like this movie at all. Need to watch it again, but yeah, Death on the Nile. I didn't even say Ledge's score. I don't think that's another 4 out of 10 to me. Death on the Nile was like a 3 point something to me. I was not a fan. of this
I
movie.
remember being. I think Rodney was really excited too before this movie came out, and I remember you 3 went, and I couldn't make it to the theater. Y'all came back like this movie's shit, and I was like, what? And I had to wait till it came out on HBO and went into it with no expectations.
That
'cause
probably
you all
helped
talked shit,
a lot
and that
because the
probably helped,
expectations is a big.
You
thing
all went
here.
in expecting a good movie.
I
went
wanted
in
Russell
expecting
Brand to like have like a really cool role, and he just kind of was Russell Bland as well. We'll throw that in there.
So for me, my third least favorite movie of the year, coming in at 50th place, and by far has been the biggest disappointment for me on the year. That's Jurassic World.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
fucking dude, I was so disappointed in this movie.
I don't get the hate. I don't really like it.
Fucking let me
Spoiler
down.
alert,
so
it was like a
much.
6 out of 10 to me. It was good. It let me down like a motherfucker because it should have been better as an epic closing saga. That's another thing. Like the actors, like this movie dropped probably like almost a whole point just because of what was at stake and who you have. And for it not to deliver, you got to deduct points for that.
yeah, so
but it's
that-
overall not a terrible movie to me, but it's not good either. And it needs to at least be that to be the closing part of like the saga before they inevitably bring it back again. But this part of the saga, it's crazy.
So leaving the theater after seeing it, like I was disappointed, but being a Jurassic Park movie, like I was like, okay, it's a 5 something. And then the more I thought on it, the more I said on it, I was like, I did not enjoy this movie. Like I can't give it over a 5. Like I literally did not enjoy my time. I was ready to leave the theater like
Yeah.
halfway through. One of my big problems is the
drag.
dinosaurs are background noise in this movie. Like
It feels like
it's
that.
the locust is like they're the problem, and the dinosaurs are just in the environment. I
The
don't know,
ending didn't even really feel like an ending, and there was no like nobody. I mean, I can't go too far into the. Because I
Bringing-
guess it's new still. But
Bringing the old characters back, it seemed forced, and I don't think they
No
gelled.
chemistry at
Yeah,
all.
the chemistry was off, and I don't know. The whole movie was a mess, and it's by far been the biggest disappointment for me. I think I said my score. I said a 4.4 for me in 50th place.
Damn. I got another theatrical release, big release that just, yeah. I mean, I wasn't necessarily disappointed because I thought this could go either way, but this went way the other way. Moonfall is my second to least favorite movie of the year at 45. You know, Roland Emmerich, he's got good disaster movies. You know, this another, you don't really meet in between. You either eat it up and love the cheesiness, it's supposed to be that, or you're just like, God, this really just kind of sucks. And it was the latter for me. Me and Rodney spent most of the movie just like laughing at the dialogue and the stupidity. But it wasn't like in a like, oh my God, that's pretty fucking cool. That's ridiculous. It was like, oh my God, really? That? But there's no entertainment value with that. And it just, dude, it bored me to tears. Of course, Samuel Tarly, dude. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to see this. I was curious how he would do. And he just kept doing that, like, Samuel face where he, like, bunches up his nose and squints and shows his teeth. And it was, every time that came on screen, I was like, God, stop doing that, Sam. That only works with Samuel Tarly. This guy, it's not working. And I don't want to say believable because obviously none of this is believable in this movie. But, like, there's still usually some sense of connectivity where I'm like, I can believe these people are together at least. And the guy, Patrick Wilson's son, was fucking god awful. He annoyed me to tears. And it's just, for me, I don't want to say boring because there is stuff going on, but it did bore me for some reason. It just never clicked. The ending was atrocious to me, what they decided to do with that. And I'm not going to spoil it anyways, but I don't even remember exactly how it ended. I'm trying to piece it together right now just for my own sake. But I remember being like, really? With that ending? I was already like, this sucks. I'm like, oh, and they did that? What the fuck are they doing? Moonfall was a travesty.
Yeah, that was another movie you all went to see. I didn't get to go, and I started watching it. It's on my Vudu. I think I made it like 40 minutes in, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is terrible." And I had to stop it for some reason, and I haven't went back to finish it. I need to go back because that will probably be bottom 5 for me once I
It was
finish
good, dude. That's like a 3 out of 10 to me.
it. So for me, second least favorite movie of the year, coming in 51st place, movie you had already mentioned, and another very disappointing showing, Morbius.
Yeah.
This was a movie, when I first heard about it, I was super excited for it, and the longer I waited, the more trailer I watched, I was like, this is going to be dog shit. So I kind of went into it not expecting it to be great, but still kind of having some hope.
Got that same.
Matt Smith, though, I thought he was the one bright spot in the movie.
Yeah, he was all right.
Which now we're seeing, like you had already alluded to, him in House of the Dragon. But, yeah, we don't really need to touch on Morbius too much more. Very disappointing.
All right, bottom of the year for me right now, and it's gonna be hard to beat, is the Requiem. I think that's how you say it. Somebody commented on one of our videos and told me how to say it. I can't remember. This was like one of our more popular videos this year for whatever reason. This got traction. I'm that guy that is gonna watch every shitty shark movie, knowing they're gonna be fucking shitty. But I hold out hope because I'm terrified of sharks. I'm such a big Jaws fan. Check out that Jaws IMAX review we did recently. And, you know, other than like if it's like zombie shark, house shark, I'm not going to waste my time with that. But if it's like people stuck in the fucking ocean, there's sharks, I'm going to watch it and hope for the best. And this one, it was weird. I was kind of intrigued because it had Alicia Silverstone in it, but she is god awful. But it's like not god awful in like the way it's like she's just bad. It's like it feels like she's trying to go for the fucking Oscar and it's bad. So it's even more cringy. And the shark violence, it was just stupid as fuck. The whole movie was frustrating and not that stupid in a good way that I just alluded to at Moonfall. It was just annoying. I've seen some shark movies this year, guys. This is definitely my least favorite. And it's my least favorite of the year. It's fucking boring to tears. It's bad. Requiem is terrible. If that's how you say it. Sorry, dude, that told me how to say it in the comments.
I don't know if I said my score for Morbius, but
Yeah, 2.5 on that for me.
3.8 for Morbius. And then my least favorite movie of the year, coming in 52nd place at a 3.5, and honestly, it should be fucking lower than that. I'm being a little generous, but Marmaduke.
Really?
Kids movie I watched with my girlfriend's daughter. It was on Netflix. Dog, dude, fucking terrible. Like, it might be one of the worst movies
Dog
I've
shit.
ever seen, and it kept me intrigued for a while because I was like, I know that voice. Who is that? And I couldn't pinpoint it, so I kept watching it to like figure out who the main voice is. It was Pete Davidson. I don't know if you know that.
Man.
And
I don't like Pete Davidson.
J.K.
I don't know
Simmons
why.
is in it as well. But yeah, the movie's fucking
J.K. Simmons is
atrocious.
a dog in a good way. But yeah, that's.
But yeah, I have it at a 3.5, but it needs to be lower. It's like a 2. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen
in my life. Yeah.
It's fucking terrible.
You want to kick us off with the top 5 of the year so far?
Yes, let me get back to my list. Top 5. So coming in at number 5 for me, movie that shocked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
In a good way. Speaking of Gravity earlier, number 5 for me is Fall.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yep. I went and saw
That's
this
high
movie.
praise for this movie now.
I know. I went and saw this movie by myself because I'm the whole aspect of like the free
I saw it
climbing,
by myself too
the free climbing aspect, like
on a phone.
super, like really intrigues me. Me being like an adrenaline junkie, and hearing Rodney and Tyler went to see it together, and they were like,
Yeah, I got a review up. Check their review
"It'll
out.
have your adrenaline going and like your anxiety," and like I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm all for that." And they were not fucking lying, dude. Like,
Delivered.
I watched this whole movie with like my hands on my face, like mouth open, like leaning forward, like oh my god, like dude, yeah, it's fucking so intense. I don't want to give too much away. It's still a pretty new movie, whatever, but absolutely go see it. I was blown away by this movie. What did I give it score wise? I have it sitting at 8.6.
Beautiful.
Fall, number 5.
All right. And number 5 for me. do a little flip flop here. Men. I fucking love this movie. This is another one where people be like, it's too overbearing with the message. Not to me. I love the movie. I love the message. This is one where I figured out everything, like even beyond what I've seen other people say. Like I do like a little bit of a breakdown in our review that just really like instead of being like, oh, I saw it coming a mile away, it was more like I saw this coming. Like I feel like I'm in on the joke. Like it felt good knowing everything and things that I probably still don't know. But like this movie really worked for me, man. Oh my God, what is his name? I know it any other time. I hate it when you say one thing in your head and then you try to make your way back to it and you've like erased that from memory. I do that all the fucking time. Dude that directed Annihilation, Ex Machina, I'm a big fan of his work. This is a little different here. He tries something new, and I think he nails it. And I love the overarching message. Even if I think it can be done to an extreme with the whole, like, we got to watch out being toxic as men and all that shit. But there's definitely some truth to that. And it's not even like about, even if I agree with it, I'm not saying I disagree or agree. It's about the way it works in the film, the way you convey your message. I'm going to hear anybody out. I listen to people talk about how we're living on a flat earth, and I'm intrigued by it, even if I don't agree with it. It's all on how you do it. And I really was stuck on this film. And I was even more stuck on it looking at everybody else's confused faces. I'm like, bro, got this. Listen, hear me out. That kind of thing. Love this movie. I thought it was amazing. This is a hit or miss movie for people. I'm seeing a lot more miss than hit, but like, damn, bro. This one worked for me. That's my number 5 of the year so far.
Number 4 for me, again, a movie that surprised the shit out of me. Movie I only watched because of TikTok. The movie review guys I follow on TikTok that talk about movies, I saw all of them talking about this movie, saying, go watch it, it's amazing, 9+. And I decided to give it a chance. It's RRR. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Triple R, I don't know how
It's
you're
just
supposed to say. But it's on Netflix.
I still need to watch that.
It's like a 3-hour and something minute movie, so it took me
That's hurting
like
right
three
now,
sittings to finish it. But holy shit, dude, the journey you go on with this fucking movie is fucking intense. The two main guys fucking kill it. It's an Indian movie for those of you who don't know, so there's a lot of subtitles, but there is some English speaking. But I feel like when movies are in a different language, like you get more immersed into it because you have to pay attention and read subtitles.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're more focused. So
Every movie like half the movies I watch are in another language. It's
so
crazy.
I felt so immersed in this world and like the character arcs between the two main guys and how they flow. I don't want to give anything really away, but there's so many character arcs, like multiple for both the main guys, and this movie is so over the top in a good way. I've heard a lot of like the TikTok reviewers kind of compare it to like the over the top that like Fast and Furious is.
Yeah.
But like with this movie, it just fucking works. Like I don't really know how to explain
It's
it.
like how it is with Moonfall.
the
Like,
CGI
sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
The CGI can be kind of iffy at points, but like the overall story is fucking amazing, and I would recommend this movie to everybody. If you can get by that 3-hour runtime, dude, it's so worth the fucking journey.
Even if it's in 3 sittings.
This is my number 4 movie of the year, and I've got it sitting at a 9.1.
Yeah, that's what I didn't say my score for men is. 9.1 for men. My number 4 of the year is going to go to one we just saw, Barbarian. This is my kind of movie. I'm the horror guy. I love having shit flipped on its head, and that's about all I really need to say. Like, this movie, I mean, like, I was just, wow, what happened? I know, like, when the shit hit the fan, it was almost like it took it down a little bit for you. For me, like, I was on the journey, and, like, it only lifted up more because I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm seeing people just despise this movie. I was talking to Gary King Jr., guy that is always in the box office banner group, and he was like, so I'm going to like it? And I was like, I don't know if you're going to like it, but I'm telling you it's fucking dope, and that's how I feel. And he was like, it was horrible. He hated it. And I was just like, yeah, bro, I know that's going to happen for some people, but watch Barbarian if you're open to, like, a real, like, serious creepy vibe movie, but you also can get down with like the just like this is insanity right now. It might not even make sense, but it's a fun ride, and it's honestly the perfect mesh of both worlds of like fucking cheesy 80s type old school, but it's also that like damn, like I like how like Close to the Vest serious this is played too in parts too. So like you get one half that, one half that. If you can be into both of those things, I think you can really enjoy it. If you're not into one of those things, maybe that's what turns you off. I love both of those things. I was stuck.
One of the TikTok guys I saw had a good comparison, and he was like, if you like Malignant, you'll like Barbarian, because it's kind of got that same ridiculous twist.
And Malignant's amazing to me.
Yeah, so
Whereas a lot
I
of
liked
people hate it.
Malignant, and I like this. But yeah, I think that's a good kind of comparison. If you see Malignant, you'll like Barbarian. Did you give your score for it?
I was just about to say it. I blew that smoke out. 9.3 out of 10.
So number 3 for me, an early release from the year, but it's still holding strong. Batman. Batman's only grown on me since we went to see it in theater.
Something was in the way.
Yeah, I think when we left, I was at a 8.5 on it. It's up to a 9.1. It's tied with RRR, but I got it ahead of it just slightly. It's went up every time I've watched it, and I'm sure I watch it again, it'll go up. But movie, I love the darkness of it.
Gotham's so dope looking.
Was fucking blown away with it. It was everything I wanted it to be. It did not disappoint.
I'm telling
I was
you.
afraid of that going into the theater. But yeah, Pattinson kills it.
His quiet intensity is just like so amazing as Batman. Yeah. So good.
I love Batman. So on to you. You're number 2.
Number 3.
You're number 3.
Yeah. No, you're good. My number 3 is actually Fall. Fall blew me away, and I watched this on a phone. I didn't even see it at the theater.
Oh man.
And there was like one specific time like where I was like, dude, I would have been cussing out loud. There's no way. Like, you ever like watch something, like it don't have to be like a movie Fall. Like maybe you're watching people doing like free jumping type shit and you're just like, fuck you, don't do that. Like you feel that like, oh my God, he's gonna fucking fall, Jesus Christ. You're just watching people parkour and you're like, God, don't. I was doing that with this movie, and I had my phone and it was the title. I was like, if this person falls right here, I'm gonna chuck my phone down. Like, I could feel it in my bones. Like, I'm watching it, and I'm like, you fucking better make this fucking jump. I was like, you motherfucker. Like, I'm saying this, I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, oh, my. Like, make you. I swear to God, if you. Oh, God. Thank God. But, like, I was fully ready. Like, if I saw the person fall, I was ready to just go, fuck, motherfucker. Oh, my God, I can't watch that. Like, it had me like that. And movies don't get me like that. So that is very, like, important to me, especially as a horror fan. Like, I've seen it all, done it all. Not really horror. It's somewhere mixed in between that. You know, I guess you can count it as that, but it's that same feeling horror gives you, that thriller feeling where you're like, oh my God, I'm glued in. I'm like, oh, I'm scared. Like, this movie did that for me, and that does not happen often. It wasn't constant, but there was a constant uneasiness that just always was there, never left. Fall blew me away. It's like this movie couldn't be better than this. Like, for what it is, you cannot make a better movie than this. I got to give it its props for that. Even that elevates it for me. This is a 9.3 out of 10 as well.
So something I loved with Fall was, while there might be some stuff that they like kind of hide and you don't see coming or whatnot, a lot of the movie was just straight in your face. Like, you know this ladder's about to fall. But the way they drag it out, they just keep you on the edge of your seat, and like they're not hiding it.
Is it gonna happen now?
They're
Is it gonna happen
showing
now?
But you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah, when's it gonna
happen?
happen?
They don't hide it; it's right in front of your face. But it just, they
and the other
knocked it out of the
thing,
park.
have no idea who these two lead girls are. They actually did really well with the acting, and that was shocked me too. I was like, damn. I'm like, I believe them. I believe their friendship. I believe their troubles. I believe the things they go through up there that are beyond just the fear of falling. Very good. Loved it.
Top 2 now. Number 2 for me. It's been here for a little bit. Top Gun. Maverick, dude. This movie.
I still haven't even seen it.
Dude. Oh, go ahead and put it in your top 5. I'm not a huge fan of the first one.
Me neither.
I think it's very average. It's not a lot happens in it. It's very anticlimactic. But all the problems I had with the first one, they addressed with this one.
Mm-hmm.
There is that story arc and the problem and the resolution and
You
the
were saying
action.
this makes the first one better.
Yeah, and because of that, it makes the first one a little bit better. But the Maverick, dude, holy shit! Like I
haven't heard
really-
a bad word about this movie.
it
yet
really
from one
leaves me
person.
like speechless. Like I don't. It's hard to comprehend. Me and Tyler went to see it, and we were both leaning forward, like on the edge of our
Mm-hmm.
seats, the last like hour of the movie, because it's like nonstop action. Like once the action starts, like it doesn't stop. And I can't wait to watch this again. I haven't seen it again since the theater, but it might
'Cause
go
it was
up
so
in score.
popular, it's just taken forever for it to come out
Yeah.
of physical release.
So it won't.
I'm
It doesn't
gonna
come
buy
out till like November, I think, because Tyler already pre-ordered it
Mm-hmm.
in 4K, and he's like November. I'm like, holy shit! But yeah, this movie's fucking amazing. I've got it at
I'm
a
gonna buy it.
9.4, and I expect that to go up a little bit once I
Damn.
rewatch it. To be honest.
Nice. So we're on to my number 2, right?
Yep, your
Yeah,
number
my
2.
number 2. Dude, I can't even explain myself. It's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, dude. Everybody hates this fucking movie, and I'm just in love with it. I'm done
33
preaching.
for me.
I'm done preaching why I love this movie so much. There's just something about it that works on every level for me, and I'm more the true, gritty, more like less is more kind of guy with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I think a lot of it was just like there was so many bad sequels in a row, and I had such low expectations that like when this shit just went balls to the wall, I was like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but like they've tried to replicate what they did in the first one and they can't match it. So this one just going balls to the wall crazy with a menacing Leatherface where I turn my brain off, which I don't like to do that with Leatherface. But again, for once, I'm like, they're not adding all this story shit. Turn your brain off, have fun with the slasher, and then a few things other people might not like that I love. Like, it just worked in droves for me. I'm fully aware I'm this movie's biggest fan. Don't understand why. I love this. Is not a joke. I adore this fucking movie. This is also a 9.3 out of 10 to me. I am off this movie's nuts, and I don't understand why.
Oh wow. Okay. My number 1, my favorite
Just kidding.
movie of the year, Everything Everywhere All at Once. You already knew that. This movie shattered every expectation I had of it.
You got to go see those movies you don't think you'll like, man. I'm telling you.
And it's a movie that's actually come down a little bit. I've rewatched it twice since it left the theater.
I've seen it like 4 times. This went up for me.
The last time I watched it, though, I watched it with a bunch of fucking haters.
Really?
Talking shit about it, saying this movie's trash, garbage, worst movie of the year. And I'm like, so that had some kind of effect on me.
They've lost their minds.
Yeah,
I get more emotional the more I watch
It's
it.
it's still fucking amazing, but it did pull me back just a little bit. I need to watch it by myself again, and because they were putting me in a negative fucking headspace. But
Man, people will do that. It sucks. You're like, what are you fucking talking?
like,
This
you
is
don't
amazing.
know cinematography. Like,
That might
this
have been
movie-
you like 3 years ago. You might not have gave this kind of movie a
Oh my
chance and
God.
walked into it with a bad attitude.
Fucking amazing. I think I had it at like a 9.6, but I've dropped it a little bit. I'm gonna put it at a 9.4, tied with Top Gun, but just barely edging Top Gun out.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking amazing. I'm so in love with the movie. You literally go through, I think, every emotion in
Yeah.
this movie. Laughing, crying, like everything.
It's crazy.
You
I
feel it
felt the
all.
sadness the first time I watched this, but after seeing it like 4 times, now it's like literally like bringing me to tears. So like when I watch it, I'm like,
It's
God
insane.
damn, like this is like it gets sadder every time I watch it. Like it's so like relatable in this weird way. And Michelle Yeoh, dude, God,
Kills it.
she murders it. And they bring back fucking Data. Fucking for him to have that comeback as her husband, like he was that child star, like it's wild to see him in the movie. Yeah, great fucking movie. That's it. No, I'm just playing. My number 1 ain't much has changed.
Yeah.
Batman is my number 1, dude. It's
Crazy.
everything I wanted in a
Loved
Batman
it.
movie. It's honestly like when I first watched it, I was like, I got this at like a 9.2, and I'm disappointed. Like that's almost how I
was
felt.
wanting a 10.
I was like, it has to be a 9.5 or above. I guess I'm still disappointed because I got it like a 9.4, but it is fucking amazing. It cracked my top 50 of all time. Now that might be politics to some degree because it was like I got everything log jammed like right there at 50, and I was like, you know what, to make it interesting, like if it's I can't choose, why not choose one from this year? But yeah, it deserves that love. It deserves that claim. And I feel like initially everybody was just loving it, and then out of nowhere, like a week after its release, like all these haters came out.
I'm curious what it is on Rotten
IMDb
Tomatoes
and shit.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, IMDb was it like an 8.6, maybe lower. But yeah, this is Batman to me. I've never really liked the character Batman until this Batman.
7.9 on IMDb. It's
Okay,
got a
yeah, it's went down. a lot.
85 critic, 87 audience.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like, I don't dislike Christian Bale's Batman. I don't dislike Michael Keaton as Batman. All the other Batmans, don't really care for. Those ones, like, you know, I kind of take them. It's more about their villains. But, like, Robert Pattinson as Batman. Bruce Wayne, like, we're going to see more of him as that. But Robert Pattinson in the Batsuit, I'm like, I'm loving this Batman. Yeah. And that's what seals it. You got it's the equal, like, oh, I love Batman and I love the villain Joker here. They're not Joker. Joker's the one, actually one part of the movie I don't like, but
Riddler.
yeah, Riddler. Yeah, it's nice to finally have that where I'm loving the lead antagonist and protagonist the same. So yeah, it worked for me.
Got any other pointers before we call?
Yeah, my number 38. We just name off everything. Yeah, dude. Well, yeah, I'm gonna post this one.
Yeah, you better.
I'm gonna remember it. It'd be funny, like a few weeks from now. It's like, you remember that video we did? Shit, sorry. We'll do our top 5 in like December, and then the start of January do our final rankings. It makes no sense.